Alrighty, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Smart Planning Retirement Seminar. First of all, I want to welcome you and thank you for attending today. If you're here today, that means that your retirement and the outlook to the future is very important to you and you want to know more about some of the solutions that we'll be touching on today. My name is Angie Lopera, and I'll get to introduce. I have the honor and the pleasure to start us off today. This is the outline for tonight. We are going to introduce a little bit of our company, who we are, options for your money, state of the economy, and we're going to be covering some retirement strategies, protected retirement, and guaranteed solutions that we've been able to help people with. But let's get started with a little bit about myself and my story. I actually I've been in the industry now for 11 years. I've been in the industry for this long now, and it's crazy to think about it because when I first got started, I got started because I was actually doing my master's degree. And I remember being introduced to a lot of financial concepts. I was looking for an opportunity, and I used to be in healthcare before. But I realized when I was learning about some of these financial concepts that, number one, I had no idea how to actually plan for my own future. I also knew other people that didn't know some of the strategies, or they weren't maximizing the solutions in their portfolios and how they were going to attain that financial security for their future. And so I became really passionate about helping families, educating people, providing this solutions for individuals. My specialty is in retirement, insurance, and long-term care. So let's get a little bit into more of our company. We will be spending the next 30 minutes to 40 minutes. And so just to respect your time and make sure that we add as much value as possible today. But here's a little bit about our company. One of the strengths that we have as an organization is that we do represent a lot of different companies in the industry. Maybe as you see on the screen here, you might see some of them that you identify or you're familiar with. Some of those could be Fidelity or Nationwide or Transamerica. Some of these are some of our premier providers. We have over 100 companies that in one way or another we're doing business with. Now, as you can see here on the left, today we are focusing more on retirement planning, but that's not the only thing that we focus on, or that's not the only area that we focus on. We definitely focus on insurance, protection, specifically family legacy, long-term care, which is part of that retirement planning that we are doing a lot of currently. We do college funds for kids, and we also focus on tax advantage strategies. And I'll touch a little bit on taxes in this conversation. But essentially, if yourself, you or somebody that you know needs some of the services, think of the person that invited you into this workshop. Think of us as the people that could potentially help you, and we'll be happy to identify those areas of opportunity to fill the gap. Essentially, what I always tell my clients is identifying what we have and what we don't have. Financial products are just like technology. We update our cell phones, we update our computers, our TVs, even our cars, right? And financial services is the same. There is different solutions that update and evolve over time that allow us to create more of an upside potential for us, more protection and certain guarantees. And that's what we want to focus on. So let's talk a little bit more about the reality and why are we talking about retirement. I meet with a lot of individuals, and a lot of the times what some of those fears are is that they don't want to outlive their money, or they don't know exactly what their game plan is. And here's some statistics. 72% of Americans feel behind or unsure about their retirement savings. And it's really having a conversation early enough. And maybe sometimes at the time where you're hitting that that phase in your life that could really make a difference. Now, I even, when I'm talking to younger individuals that have 20 or 30 years in the workforce, that they're not thinking about retirement, well, that's still something that we want to bring up, because time is of the essence, and we want to make sure that we create a plan early enough to address concerns and to really understand what are going to be the solutions that we're going to have in place. Another area here, or another reality, is that 48, almost 50% of Americans, they've had to stop working earlier than expected, simply because maybe a job loss or a health issue. And so it's keeping that in mind, that sometimes plans change. And as long as we have a GPS to that final destination, to where we want to be, that's we could detour and get there, but having a plan is so important. And so again, having those conversations is what's really going to get us that security and that financial freedom when we are reaching that retirement. Now, what are some of the things that impact our retirement or the lifestyle in retirement? And I see this a lot, not only with clients that are already in retirement phase, but individuals that are looking to get into that retirement phase. We see it all the time, and it's market risk, the volatility, the uncertainty. Essentially, we don't control the stock market ourselves. And so when someone sees their money or their strategies go down, they're going to feel vulnerable, and they're feeling uncertain about the future. And so we want to avoid that market risk. We also talk about taxes is another area that will impact retirement and the lifestyle in retirement. So if we talk about taxes increasing, well, we want to make sure that we're hedging against those taxes. And a lot of times what I see and what I find is that, and some of my clients have experiences as well, that they've saved money in all the areas where they're going to be taxed later on. And so they don't have any hedge or any avoidance on those taxes or accounts that will be solutions that are tax advantage. And so we want to make sure that we have some of those in place. Health issues, that's a big one, and that's a big one in the long-term care area. As we get older, as we continue to develop in our lives, well, unfortunately, health is one of those areas where we also don't have, as much as we take care of ourselves, maybe a condition or an illness comes our way without expecting it, and that could affect our assets and what we've worked so hard to attain over time. And so important to have long-term care complementing and making sure that you have those accounts in place that will protect your assets, but also protect yourself in case of a nursing care facility needed, or even someone coming to take care of you for a period of time. Fees. A lot of times people don't understand these fees, or they don't see these fees because they're in accounts in 401ks or this type of solutions that they don't see the fees directly, but there are fees involved that will impact that retirement. Last but not least, emotion. So emotion is something that I also see in the conversations that I have on a daily basis, and people get emotional. We are all emotional about our money. We work hard for our money, and seeing it go down or having that volatility is not ideal. And so people make those emotional decisions with their money, and it's not necessarily, again, what that ideal solution for retirement looks like. So when we talk about emotions, we have to talk about that volatility and what impact us, and why, again, we're covering this topic today. Because it does take a lot more to recover from losses. And so here are some examples on what it will take someone to return to a recovery when they've lost money in the stock market, or some of these accounts that are more exposed to volatility. So here we see the red is the amount of losses, the market downturn, right? Now, the blue, you're gonna see how much it will take to actually make up for those losses. But what is amazing to see is this green percentage that is based on downturn, market downturn, and also you withdrawing money. And this is an example of a 5% withdrawal for the next 5 years. So if you're taking money out of your accounts and you're losing money because of the volatility of the market, well, it takes a lot more to make up for those losses. So that 10%, if you're not withdrawing money, that's 11% that you would have to make up. But if you are withdrawing money, that's 37%. Let's take a look at 30%. You got to make up 43% of the money that was lost to be able to get back to where you were. And so again, that's why it's so important to create those guarantees, protection against that volatility, and look at 40%. So a lot of times people do underestimate the power of losing money. And I always tell my clients, it's better to have at least a percentage of your money protected than not. So with that said, I'm going to introduce the next individual who is going to be breaking down some solutions. He's going to go into some details of what is available in a case that we want to protect our assets, but also create income streams. Maybe it's not income streams, but just want to protect our assets. So he's going to talk about the state of the economy and a little bit of fun facts. So with that said, please take it away, Mario Fragomeno.
All right. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate all the great value and knowledge that you bring, but welcome everybody. Appreciate you as well for carving out 30 to 40 minutes of your busy schedule to learn about some financial planning here, especially when it comes to retirement. So a little bit about myself. First name Mauro, last name Fragomeno. I'm one of the senior partners of the firm. I grew up in Pasadena, California, which is in Los Angeles County. So if you're familiar with the Rose Parade or Rose Bowl, that's Pasadena. My original background is civil engineering. I graduated in 2006 from UC Irvine. Irvine is a University of California school right in Orange County, California, which is right in the middle of Los Angeles and San Diego County. I transitioned careers from civil engineering into financial services, looking back over 13 years now. Fast forward, and as I mentioned today, I'm one of the senior partners. And really what I want to focus on to get started tonight is where the economy is, right? We are in an era where we have the mainstream media, we have social media. We don't know what to really believe and what's true. So I'm always a big fan of looking at the data, right? So if we look at current economic conditions, our national debt is the highest it's ever been as a country. It's 36 trillion and counting. If you look at the gross domestic product ratio, we're nearing World War II levels. So that's a huge area of concern for the economy. And unemployment, right? A lot of people think the economy is doing well. Unemployment numbers are showing that it's at 4.3% now. That's the highest it's been since 2021. Unfortunately, a record number of Americans are working multiple jobs. How about inflation? We all been feeling it, right? The US dollar has lost 25% of its purchasing power since 2020. And we're feeling it at the grocery store, our utilities, our energy bills. Everything is feeling a lot more expensive. More than ever, Americans are getting pinched because of inflation. And we're seeing it when it comes to credit cards. 11% of credit card balances in the US are now delinquent, the highest it's been in over a decade. And even businesses are being impacted as well. The number of companies declaring bankruptcy has doubled in only 2 years. Why do I paint this picture? Because the US stock market is at record highs, right? So it's throwing a lot of people off. Say, Mauro, my portfolio is high. It's the highest it's ever been. I've been looking at the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. Yes, we had a scare 2 weeks ago, but we bounced back. You know, what's going on here? I've seen this negative economic news. My portfolio is high. Do I play defense? Do I continue to play offense? We're going to cover that right now, right? Now, I mentioned inflation. Now, what's going on right now? The biggest indicator of the economy, which is really impacting everybody, is going to be interest rates. If you look at where interest rates are today, where they're at a 15-year high, we have to zoom out a little bit and really understand how powerful interest rates are when it comes to investing and saving in the banking and investment sector, right? The pandemic hit in 2020. As you can see, we're slowly raising interest rates to slow down the economy. 2020 hits. Everybody knows the world got shut down in March of 2020. Well, to boost the economy, our US government had to lower interest rates all the way down to zero. And they kept them at zero for quite some time. Then what started happening is, wow, wait a minute here. Everything's getting so darn expensive, right? I'm a big fan of going to a regional grocery store. I believe they're national now. It's called Trader Joe's. And I'm the type of personality where I don't like to shop. I walk into the store, I buy the same exact thing every single time. I'm in, I'm out. Very quick errand, takes me 15, 20 minutes max, depending on the line. I feel inflation because I know where my price points are. Where I used to spend $100, I'm now spending $140. So to control inflation, the government had to tighten the money supply, because what also ended up happening is our own US government printed out 80% of the US money supply in all of existence. So there's a lot of money out there. So the government said, hey, we have to raise interest rates at a record speed. Interest rates today, as you can see, are now at 5.5%. So if you're wondering, how come all of a sudden I could get a good rate of return in my savings account? My banks are offering CDs of 3, 4, 5%, is because our US government had to raise interest rates. But when the money supply gets tighter, well, unemployment tends to go up, bankruptcies tend to happen, economic recession should be happening. So we don't know. But based on today's meeting, it looks like we're going to start lowering interest rates. So we might be at a high right now. And the reason I'm talking about interest rates is it ties directly to the investment world. Okay, so let's talk about different options for your money. What's really going on in today's environment. The reason why I say today's environment is because it's different than the 70s and 80s and the 2000s and last decade, right? Because of where interest rates are today, we have to take a custom tailored approach to financial plans to really adjust them based on today's market. And we're going to cover that in a little bit. Okay. Now let's talk about different options for your money. The big one's going to be fixed, right? This is still the most popular way that people do save money. You save money in a checking account at the bank, a savings account, or a CD account. Banks are now offering 2 to 4%, some banks 5%. People love them because you're guaranteed to not lose money. It feels good. You put $100,000 in a CD, you know you're going to have $100,000 plus interest. You don't have to worry about losing money. It feels good. The problem, though, is when we have high inflation, where the price of goods have gone up 25% over the last 4 years. And by the way, that's the number the government's giving us, right? I really look at my life. I feel like everything got more expensive by 30 to 40%, right? Especially car insurance, grocery bills, energy, a tank of gas, all the things that we use day to day, those seem to be go up a lot more than 25%. So if we're only getting 2 to 4% on our money, but inflation has gone up over 25% the last 4 years, even though we're technically not losing money, we're actually losing to inflation. So what's the solution then, especially for retirees, where they're looking to keep up with inflation? They built a nest egg, they're looking to protect it. Well, the solution has been the stock market. But the problem with the stock market is it's variable, right? It's done exceptionally well. After the big crash of 2008, 2009, stock market's been on a tear. It's at near record highs. We've had some big downturns on the way there, but overall, it's been up. But there's tons of emotion in the stock market because it's what we call as a non-guaranteed strategy. You could make great money, but at the same time, there's going to be moments where you're losing money. And losing money might be okay when in your 30s and 40s and maybe early 50s. But it starts making people a little nervous when they start hitting their 50s and 60s and 70s. And they start thinking, wait a minute here, I have this nest egg. Everything's getting a lot more expensive. The last thing I need is to see my portfolio drop by 10 to 15%. You saw that slide deck that Miss Angie Lopera went over. Numbers go down much faster than they go back up, right? So how have we been helping clients? There's actually a strategy that's our most popular because of today's environment. We're calling it an index strategy. I'm going to break this one down in greater detail. The companies we do business with, they actually position our clients to guarantee against any stock market losses. And at the same time, you get upside potential based on the performance of the stock market. Quite popular in today's environment. And once again, our most popular strategy that our clients are implementing either on a portion of their assets or a majority based on their personality. So let's cover this index strategy because once again, it is our most popular. Now we're calling it a protected retirement. It's typically someone age 50 and above that have a lump sum of money. And this lump sum could be different for everybody, right? Today's a concept. I'm going to use the example of $300,000. The money could come from a savings account, a individual retirement account, a employer sponsored account, such as a 401k, 403, 457. Point being is it's a lump sum of money. Because interest rates are at a 15-year high, what these companies are now offering people is what's called an introductory bonus. For any new money that comes into the organization investment company, they're giving clients a 10 to 12% bonus simply for opening a new account, right? I know that might seem crazy because when they started releasing the numbers, I thought they were crazy. Now, the reason why they have to do it is because of competition, and competition is good for consumers. They know that you could go to your Chase, your Wells Fargo, your local bank, your regional bank, and they're going to give you 4 to 5% of your money. So to stay competitive, say, well, if they'll give you 4 to 5%, we'll give you a 10 to 12% bonus on your retirement, and we'll put into a savings account. And what we'll also do is we'll credit the savings account based on the performance of the US stock market, specifically the S&P 500, the largest 500 companies in the US. Now, here's what's also great about this strategy. The reason why we call it protected is, once again, when the stock market goes down in value, the savings account is guaranteed by the A-rated financial company to have a floor of 0%. So in this case, 0 is your hero. You're guaranteed to not lose money. And this is how simple they make the strategy. When the market makes 7%, they credit the savings account 7%. More importantly, though, when the stock market drops negative 12%, 5%, whatever that may be, they guarantee that floor of 0%. So you cannot lose money in this account. Market decides rebound, goes up 4%, they credit the account 4%. More importantly, we have that official correction, that bear market starts down 20%. Don't forget, we're also in election year. Okay, the election's coming up in 80 days, a lot of negative energy between the country, the economy, S&P. People don't know what to expect. But here, we're able to implement complete peace of mind because these companies are giving a guarantee floor of 0%. So the savings account is going to grow more like a staircase. Your money is going to go up with the stock market, and the years that the stock market doesn't perform, it's guaranteed to not lose money. Okay, so let's fast forward here because a lot of people say, this is too good to be true. I don't believe it exists. What's going on here? What's the catch? I wouldn't say there's a catch, but you do have to sign an agreement with the financial company. That agreement could be 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years. 10 years is the most popular that our clients do move forward with. That's where the numbers look the most lucrative. But since people are signing an agreement, they're going to waive any management fees on the account. And management fees could really start adding up, especially if somebody has 300,000, $500,000 to $1 million. 0.5% might not seem like that much, but 0.5% of 300,000, that's $1,500 a year in fees that we're able to eliminate. That $1,500 over 10 years, that's $15,000 that stays within your account. And also, life does happen, right? People say, hey, well, what if there's an emergency and I need access to the money? These companies give you a 10% liquidity feature, meaning that in this example, you could actually access up to 10%. And once again, it's typically for someone age 50 or above. So great concept here. What I want to share is an actual financial planning that we do with actual clients doing this same exact strategy, right? I'm going to switch gears here. I'm going to switch screens, and I'm going to focus on a company we do business with. And this company is called The Thing. Okay. And with this one, I was able to input my client's information. You could see Mr. Harry Potter. He's a male, age 65 here in California. He plans on retiring at the age of 70 or 75 or 80. All depends. It's his money. And he's going to want to put away $300,000. And I'm telling the software, this client wants to do $300,000. What is it projected to look like in the next 5, 7, 10 years? One thing I love about the projection, notice the number doesn't go down because of the guarantee. Okay, so after I run it, it shows us what we call as an illustration. And here's a great A-rated company that we do business with. This is projecting on what this should do based on past performance. You can see the 300,000 there. Since it is in California, California is offering right now an 11% bonus. Now, if interest rates start going down, which they're projected to do, they will eliminate the bonus. So there's not too much time to take advantage of that 11% bonus. So you can see 300,000 at $33,000 bonus. So from day one, Harry Potter, this client, he's going to start his account with $333,000 with zero risk. Then it's going to take past performance of the stock market, and it's going to project what this should look like in the future. What I love about it is you can see it's making money, it's making money, it's making money, it's making money. That's wonderful. But my favorite part is it's not losing money. So the years where the stock market goes negative, this account is guaranteed to never lose money without any management fees. That's what makes this so attractive. It's for somebody that wants to remove the risk of the stock market and position themselves to get a greater gain than what the banking sector is offering. As you can see, quite amazing. Another thing that's happening because of interest rates that I want to cover and take advantage is these companies are actually also offering what's called guaranteed income. For the person that wants to turn in a lump sum of money into guaranteed payments for life for the rest of their life, and also include their spouse, if that's what they want to do, they're able to do it. Since the investment company knows that they have your money for the rest of your life, they're really going to credit your account attractive. And these are guaranteed numbers. Okay, right now, this is a company called Nationwide. We're all familiar with Nationwide. They're offering a 30% introductory bonus. So 100,000 turns into 130,000. And then they're offering a 8% guaranteed every single year for the first 10 years, no matter what happens in the US economy. Quite amazing. Okay, so I'm going to show a tool that we get access to. And I'll also make sure I could share it in the chat for everybody and email it to everybody. It's a tool that Nationwide has that's called a guaranteed income tool. Now, once again, this is for somebody that wants predictability. They want guarantees. They want to convert a lump sum of money into retirement paycheck for life, complete peace of mind. We use this strategy a lot. So someone gets guaranteed income and their Social Security. Between their guaranteed income and Social Security, that takes care of somebody's bottom line. Their mortgage, their utilities, their debt, any vacation, any travel, then any other assets, well, that they could use for beneficiaries, estate planning, or they could travel and enjoy the retirement. So very simple tool that Nationwide offers. It's called a guaranteed income tool. And I'm going to stick with the 300,000. So that's the number we've been using. Of course, some clients do more, some do less. We customize and tailor it. We're going to do it on a single life. And let's make this client 65. And this client plans on pulling income at the age of 75. So what's happening in retirement planning is more Americans are working longer than ever. Some of them do it because they have to, but some of them do it because they just get so darn bored in retirement that they want to continue to work. So the retirement age is actually getting pushed out. More than ever, I'm working with people that start retiring at 68, 70, 72. The rule of thumb of retiring at 65, those days just seem to be diminishing a lot more. But 300,000, a 65-year-old waiting for 10 years, simply show on what this person's going to get. And the reason why the calculator is able to show us a guaranteed number is because these numbers are guaranteed. So what we see here, these are not projections. Because of high interest rates, these companies can offer these great 30% bonuses, these 8% a year. So someone that puts away 300,000, they're guaranteed 10 years later that their $300,000 investment is going to grow to $841,000. Then when they're ready to turn on income, Nationwide will pay them $49,000 a year every single year for the rest of their life. Okay, guaranteed. Now, question we get a lot is, well, hey, Mark, what if I pass away prematurely? That's a valid question. What's also amazing about these strategies in today's environment, if someone passes away early, the beneficiaries will get what's left in the account. So it's not like the old days where somebody annuitized their annuity, and then if they passed away, the family got nothing. This, what's left in the pot, gets passed on. And you can see these are guaranteed numbers. These are projections. You do not have to wait 10 years to turn on income. In this example, somebody wants to turn on income at the age of 70, they're guaranteed $32,000 a year. So easy way to look at it is look at it like your Social Security. If you're starting to receive your green sheet that shows your breakdown from the Social Security Administration, it's going to show you what you get at 65, what you get at 66, what you get at 67, and so on. The longer you wait, the higher the payment's going to be. This is no different, right? But by no means do somebody have to wait 10 years. We do this strategy where someone starts the income in year 2, they start in year 6, because the toughest part is, when exactly am I going to retire? So a question we love to ask people is, do you feel like you're going to live too long? Then if that's the case, maybe we should look at something that pays you for the rest of your life. Or if you feel like you're going to pass away prematurely because of your genetics, maybe your lifestyle, well, let's look at a strategy that we could guarantee that the beneficiaries get a lump sum of money that will go down in value. Okay, so you can see we're definitely taking advantage of current market conditions, tailoring and customizing these different plans for our clients. And that's what we really want to cover today, right? Miss Angie Lopera, we promise we'll get it in about 40, 45 minutes. I know it's a Wednesday evening, we're all busy. Yes, we did record this, so we will send this out to everybody if you need to see it a second time. If you do have additional questions, feel free. Shoot me a text message, shoot Angie a text message, shoot me an email, jump on our calendar, schedule a meeting. We would love to build this for everybody, show how it looks for you. Remember, everyone has a different financial plan. The value that we really bring in working with our clients is giving that custom tailored approach, not doing what the internet says. Is what exactly do you want? What exactly do you have? Do you want to leave money to your beneficiaries? Do you want to spend all your retirement? There's clients that we work with say, you know what? We want to spend all our money. Our kids will figure it out. That's fine too. But people work with us because of that custom tailored plan. We'll do a free consultation. We'll catch up, see how everything's looking, and we could show you how your numbers look so that you could get that smart planning and get that guaranteed income for life. But once again, appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and we'll go ahead and send a recording to everybody. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.